Thank you for enjoying that intense intro. This first video is from Latest LY by their viral team. This is UFO in Ludhiana. Netizens share videos and pics of an unidentified object in the night sky, wondering if it is the aliens or meteors. So basically between 9 o'clock and 9:05 in Ludhiana in India, which is in the most northern part of India, they had several videos over Twitter basically showing an object which, you know, the argument is aliens, an airplane that's on fire, or a meteor breaking up the atmosphere. So that's pretty much what this describes here. And of course, you're going to have debates back and forth, but the real point of the whole situation is to show you the video. So there you go. It does appear near the end of this that maybe it disappears. So of course they are a little bit shaky-handed. Okay, that is the first one. There are two more. Something weird. Fire in the sky, right? Number 2. Zoomed out. Look at the nice zoom in. There you go. That's a nice zoom in. Yeah, there's a short video as well. So it does, you know, it really does have like the breaking off appearance of a meteor or something going down, but obviously I don't know for sure. Oh, it replayed. Okay, sorry. All right, here is the third and final video. You'll see very similar, but nonetheless, I got them there. Now this one's short as well, 23 seconds. There you see it, streaming across the sky. Okay, that's really all they have. And of course, here at the bottom, it just talks about how they really don't know what it is. But of course, you're going to have the debates back and forth. But your opinion is the most important. Thank you. Here's the next video, which is also a little UFO video. This is from 99.5 WKDQ, #1 for new country. Anyway, possible UFO sighting in Evansville among many seen across the country. This is true. This is written by Leslie Morgan. Essentially, the author talks about how they saw a UFO when they were 10 years old. They've been into UFOs their whole life since they saw the show In Search Of. I remember watching the show Sightings, which always was a very good show, but I digress. We go down here, past all the weird stuff, and here you go. It's a little difficult to see. They do give you little hand symbols so you can kind of see what they're talking about. So yeah, you can't really tell if it's blinking. If it's blinking or they just can't get a good view on it. Yeah, you really can't tell. I don't know for sure either. Let's see. Can we enter? Does that do anything? Let's see. Yeah. You can't tell. I mean, they look fairly close. Are they blinking, or is the camera just picking them up weird? I mean, it kind of looks like they filmed Christmas lights in the distance, but I mean, you really can't tell, unfortunately. But that's what I got. You know, as always, you know, some of these UFO videos, you just kind of have to go with your own gut instinct and what you think. But, thank you for watching. This next one I have from ASI, which is an Italian newspaper. It involves the UFO, or it's called the CUN in Italy, which is the Italian National UFO-Logical Center. It was born in 1967. So basically the article is about a previous article about some of the declassified information from the FOIA requests, talking about how there's technology that has actually been looked over by the government for about 4 years, and that was done by Bigelow Aerospace. So this news was released earlier this year, and this article is basically just talking about how it's not really a big deal for them, because apparently they had a conference in 2018 that was an invite-only conference. And during that conference, it was actually revealed about all of the information that was just revealed recently. So they knew already about this technology that was being researched and how people believe it could be technology from Roswell, and how it was done from the Bigelow Aerospace, and then how the Bigelow Aerospace then laid off everyone. So I found this article that's basically speaking on the same thing. The researcher, Pentagon, admits testing wreckage from UFOs. They talk about the FOIA requests, how they received those, and they do say that, you know, it was 2017 that Bigelow Aerospace, a Las Vegas, Nevada-based company, they're a private contractor with the Department of Defense, and they then laid off all of their employees afterwards. They talk about how the metal had the similarities to memory metal. So if you've ever read anything about Roswell, you'll hear them speak constantly about handling this metal that they could roll up like tin foil or aluminum foil, and then it would extend back into the shape that it was. You go down where they talk about how some of the capabilities, in addition to remembering their original form, when bent or crushed, some of these futuristic materials had the potential to make things invisible, compress electromagnetic energy, and even slow down the speed of time. And of course now, whatever wreckage was researched, no one has any idea where it is. And then here at the bottom it states that Bigelow Aerospace laid off nearly all of their 85 employees in March 2020. So that is, of course, interesting. The only other thing that this really adds is, of course, they spent $22 million on the 4-year project from 2008 to 2011. But they also, at the end here, they give you a bit of just basically be careful, which, I mean, the idea that the government is going to release this information from the FOIA requests. They say that if you believe that this is everything, or you believe that they would legitimately release information that proves UFOs exists or could be damning to them in any way, they say specifically that you're a fool or you're naive. And to some degree, I don't think that the government would. Even looking through some of the CIA files, you do see a lot of gaps, a lot of things that are colored out. You see a lot of issues. So, I mean, just a little skepticism is not going to hurt in that sense, because, I mean, it's not like they would give you all the information just because you asked. But there's maybe some good stuff in there. I do. Thank you. So here's my last 2 random stories that I'll kind of combine here. This one is from the Hoya, and is crime scene, the vanishing at the Cecil Hotel impresses as a mesmerizing murder mystery. So, if you didn't know, Netflix has a show right now. It's about 4 episodes long, and it's about the... it has a bit to do with the Cecil Hotel and the history of the Cecil Hotel, and then kind of the history of Skid Row in that area. But a lot of it is really pushed towards the disappearance and death of Lisa Lam. They do kind of string you along a bit, because there's huge information dump on the 4th episode where they really tell you their own opinions and they give you the evidence that they have. But if that's something that interests you, or if you've never heard of the Cecil Hotel, the area, and especially if you've never heard of the Lisa Lam disappearance. I mean, those are very, very interesting things to look up. And the last thing that I have, and I had to put it in here, it's not paranormal, but it is really weird. You see these things here, these little puffs, they look like little tornadoes, or they could even be dust devils. So here's a little 45-second video. I'll talk over it a bit. This is all in Spanish, so I don't know if you speak Spanish, but so these are not tornadoes. These are not dust devils. They aren't even dust. They are group upon group of millions of mosquitoes that are mating. Yeah, these are not tornadoes. This is apparently a specific kind of mosquito that lives. This is Argentina, and apparently they had terrible rains and they've had floods, and it is mosquitoes that are mating, and I can only imagine. The mosquitoes are pretty awful anywhere, but I can only imagine what a tornado of mosquitoes would do to your town, or if you're camping in that area. Not paranormal, but at the same time, very weird. But, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for listening, if you're still listening.